What up? And welcome back to another episode of Green Nose Bells, baby! That's right. Listen, today we are going to be celebrating Halloween in July. Well, us, but for the audience, it's going to be Halloween in July in early August because that's when you're going to be hearing it. And there's nobody I would rather have on Halloween in July than the person we got with us right now, Electrasoul. YouTuber, psychic medium, manifester. What else? I mean, many things.
Anything, limitless.
Many things. That's right. The limitless Electrasoul. That's good. That should be in the bio. Limitless. I like that.
Low key.
So today we're going to be listening to some ghost stories from the internet. And we are obviously going to be eating some candy because what would Halloween be without some candy? I'm glad it made it to Florida. Oh, can I say where you live or no? Okay. I don't know because some people are weird about that. I'm glad it made it to Florida in the scorching heat and it did not melt. But before we get into any of that stuff, I did want to ask you this, right? Because I know you're big on TikTok, and so am I. Well, I'm not. You're actually big on TikTok where people watch you. I'm actually big on TikTok where I just watch TikTok all day. So I was watching TikTok and I was listening to a lot of people talk about their lucid dream experiences. So obviously you know what lucid dreaming is, right? Yeah, obviously. So for the audience, maybe you don't know. Lucid dreaming is essentially when you're dreaming and you become conscious in your dream and you can manipulate the dream, do whatever you want, go in the store, rob the store, whatever. So people were telling like their nightmare stories about it. And I want to know if you heard any of these where essentially like you're not supposed to ask the time or the day in a lucid dream or else like the people in your dream become like evil or mean and something bad happens, right? Did you hear about this?
Yeah, actually, that's funny. I've also heard that to never look in a mirror while you are lucid dreaming because what you're going to see is
Oh,
going to be like totally distorted and fucked up because your brain can't like comprehend how you physically look like in the dream kind of thing. So it's always like a lot of scary loopholes. They also say don't look down at your feet because your feet will be completely messed up. At your hands, they're going to be messed up too. The time, everything is, and that's funny with the feet and like the hands thing. They usually say that if you want to enable a lucid dream, to train yourself to like be able to look down at your hands and your feet kind of thing, so that in the dream when you do, you realize that you're in a dream so that you're able to lucid dream. So that's like a
right.
little loophole for those who want to
Yeah.
know.
That's like lucid
Yeah,
dreaming 101, I think, because that's when I would see people talk about that. Like if you want to start lucid dreaming, look at your hands all day. And then when
yes.
I think there's like another step, but once you get in the dream, you could look at your hands and stuff. But that's pretty scary. Like the stories of people being like, they're like at a barbecue and they're talking to people, like their family. And they're like, what time is it? And everybody just switches up and they're like, they just turn like evil and like start chasing them out of the dream. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it is crazy, and it does sometimes it does happen like that. Like it's super spooky, but it
Have,
is real.
have you ever had an experience like that in a lucid dream?
I've always been very careful when I lucid dream because I know of like this kind of stuff, but I will tell you, it's actually really funny. I don't know what it is, but I'm able to look in the mirror in my lucid dreams. Like when I do, I see myself right back. I look down at my feet and my feet usually I usually don't have like shoes on. That's how I know. I'm like, okay, something's not right because I'm out in the public and I got socks on. Or I'll look at my hands and they'll be like, it'll just look almost like not my fingers are cut off, but more of like how do I say it? It's almost like it becomes blurry. Like my fingertips become blurry. So nothing really like with chasing me or demonic things, thankfully, because I always avoid that. But I'm always really careful too. So
Right.
I definitely, yeah, steered away from that.
You know the rules already.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Well, how long have you been lucid dreaming? When did you start?
I started when I was 12 years old. So 10 years.
Wow. Was it
Yeah.
like a thing where you consciously tried or you woke up in the dream and you were like, oh shit, I'm dreaming. Let me fly around.
That's actually a great question because it happened so naturally. I remember the first thing that ever happened was I got a sleep paralysis. I remember I was
Oh
12
boy.
when it first happened. It was demonic. No, the first one was strange. I remember it was really weird.
That's the one
And
where
then
the Hat Man was there, with the guy with the top hat and everything you were telling me about last time?
it was within that year. So I just turned 13 when that happened. It was like within the time span. But yeah, I'm trying to remember what did you just ask me?
That
You asked
was
me
the.
before.
Oh, when did you like? If you consciously tried to lucid dream, or did you just wake up and lucid dream in the dream?
It happened like really, it just happened to me. And I remember after that, I started searching it up because I was like, what I had last night was not normal. And then I found out about lucid dreaming, and then I did all this research, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna like master this shit so I can do it by command, like on choice, not when it happens to me. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So
right.
yeah, definitely.
And is it
I
something you
gotta,
do for fun now? Do you do it for fun?
yeah, I love lucid dreaming. I love astral projection and like going into my dreams and dead ass experiencing a whole other world because my dreams are they're extremely prophetic. They're super vivid. I feel like just yesterday I woke up, I remember, and I was like, oh my goodness, I've been dreaming the whole night. Like the whole night I was in another plane. You know, I woke up feeling exhausted even though I slept like a whole night. And it's basically just soul traveling. So I feel like even if in a dream you are astral projecting and you're sleeping, like physically you are sleeping, if you are dreaming and you're doing all these things, I feel like your soul is not actually resting because you're still on the go.
Right.
So it's really crazy, but
Is there like a
yeah.
favorite thing you like to do in your dream, or is it just different every time?
I will say that when it comes to my dreams, I love when I before I go to bed, I love to set an intention to receive signs of what I should know right now. I always say that I'm like, show me
Nice,
what I should know right now. And then I'll have dreams about like people that maybe I should know something about or like situations, signs, like things like that, but it always comes through.
nice.
Always.
So you mentioned astral projection, which was actually what I want to talk about next. So you do astral project,
Yeah, yeah,
which
I
for those
do.
that don't know, explain what that is.
Astral projection, it's pretty similar to lucid dreaming. The difference with lucid dreaming is that it's more of like a dream state. I feel like with astral projection, it's the actual not removal, but the separation from your soul to your body. So you could be laying down on your back and feeling yourself because people can also like make this happen for themselves. It's not something that has to naturally happen, where you start to visualize your soul leaving your body kind of thing, and then you're able to just go wherever, do whatever. And it is the same concept in a way like lucid dreaming, but astral projection I feel is deeper in the aspect that you're able to go to different dimensions, you're able to see different timelines and do different things, and it's a very open-minded experience. But you have to be careful as well because with the scary stuff that can also follow you with astral projection, because when you're astral projecting, you're putting yourself into a body with a whole bunch of other spirits that actually exist. So I will say I've had multiple dreams, like so many fucking dreams where I will be talking to a person that I know is an actual person, or I will know that there's someone who passed away or someone who was on this earth. And it always feels, it's so like, it's just so crazy. It's
That's
so crazy, but it's so
wild. Because
connected.
really,
Yeah.
astral projection, I guess the difference is your soul is like basically leaving your body. Because a lot of people will say that they notice because they're like levitated and they're looking at themselves, and that's how
Yeah.
they know that they're astral projecting. A lot of people don't know what it is when it happens. They're just like, what the fuck? Like I'm literally out of my body. Like it's like an out of body experience when somebody's like gonna die, or if they have like a near death experience. So you can go to. I've heard of people like astral projecting in this dimension, in this reality, but I never heard of people going to other realities. So that's possible, like other timelines, like you said.
Yeah, I definitely do believe it's possible. I'm personally not the kind of person who will go to like a
Mm-mm.
like some people like to travel to like Harry Potter. What is it?
You
I
want
don't
to
read
go
Harry
to
Potter, so I don't.
Hogwarts,
Yes, Hogwarts. Um,
play
all
fucking
that stuff. So
Quidditch?
yeah, basically like all these things, and
Uh-uh.
I personally don't like go like dive that deep because I kind of want to keep it related to my life, but it definitely there's different kinds of like dimensions in which you exist in, and I feel like I've definitely become more open-minded to that as well because I always knew that different dimensions were real, but I feel like I've actually now I know that they're real because I've seen it myself. Like
Right,
there's different versions of different people, different situations that can happen. Even people have told me that they remember things extremely different than how it actually is. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
maybe for example, the Eiffel Tower was actually in Egypt, for example, like a totally crazy example, but like they'll actually remember that, and people they'll tell them or they'll say that people have told them that they agreed with them, and like it was like a known thing until they realized that, oh my God, no, wait,
Oh,
it's
wow.
there. That's so weird. What the hell? Like, you know what I'm
That's
saying? It's like
wild.
everything gets mixed up in a different way, but it's normal to those people that
Right.
exist in that dimension.
Do you have any like weird or scary encounters when you've astral projected? Anything that you can highlight?
Yeah, let me think. I honestly have had a very big amount of like scary experiences with like astral projection because
Oh,
um
Lord.
of spirits who have tried like to get a hold on you, but thankfully I've always had a strong foundation because over the course of like my life I've learned how to deal with negative spirits. So whenever that does happen, it'll kind of be like, for example, I'm trying to think of an example. There'll be like a spirit who will come and it'll be known that they're a bad spirit. It's not like they're trying to hide themselves and then to spook you. They'll come to you and start laughing, kind of thing, and like, like, haha, I'm gonna scare you. And then if you put your foot down, you're like, I'm not gonna let you scare me, kind of thing. They end up leaving you alone because they notice that there's nothing to scare you with, you know?
Nice.
So yeah, I definitely had my fair share of scary moments, but nothing I couldn't overcome.
Right. Good. Good. I like I am in this reality where I don't go fucking hiking. I know people like, "Oh, I want to go on this trail." I don't be going on trails. I don't like planes. I don't like the sea. I like being on land. I'm the same way with this reality. I want to be in this reality. I don't want to be no other place. I don't want to go to no other dimension. I'm
Earth sign.
staying right fucking here. I'll go to that dimension if I'm supposed to go when I die. I do not like exploring. I will tell you that I could definitely see myself lucid dreaming because I do wake up in my dreams sometimes where I'm like, I know I'm dreaming and I'm like, I just want to get out. So I'll just wake myself up. I don't like go, like I'll be conscious of it and I'm like, I'm lucid dreaming. I don't go like, oh, like I want to go fuck around. I want to go I'm like, nope, time to wake up. Let's get out of here. Time to wrap this. I don't want to do nothing with that shit.
That's actually cool because a lot of people I know as well who are not into like astral projection or like conscious dreaming or anything like that, they've told me themselves as well, like you, that they'll choose to wake up from a dream. For
Mm-mm.
example, my mom told me once that something was going to happen to her in a dream, and she was like, "Okay, it's time to wake up," and then she woke up.
That's
And I
right.
feel like, yeah, you're that much in control. It's really cool.
I'm waking the fuck up. I don't even like sleeping anyway, so I'm like, oh, I'm awake in my dream. Time to wake up for real. I sleep like 4 hours a day. That's like that. I don't really like sleeping like that, so that's not my
Too.
thing. So you did bring up mirrors earlier, and I wanted to talk about this because I don't know if this is common thought, but I've definitely heard it a few times that mirrors could be like a portal to the spirit world. Do you agree with that? Have you heard that?
Oh, absolutely. That's actually funny because recently, I don't know why, I've been thinking about back when I used to make more spiritual based YouTube videos about like 2 years ago. I remember I made a video about how the mirrors are portals because when you put two mirrors together, it kind of like literally
Oh, I heard you're not
enables.
supposed to do that.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't be
not
doing
supposed to
that.
because
You've done that?
when I was little, I used to do that. Like the mirrors in the bathroom when you like open it
Oh,
and
I
yeah.
did used to do that. That's right. I think we all did that. That's true. That's true. You go inside like and you're in a house of mirrors and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Oh
super,
shit.
super
I was
spooky,
I
but
was
it's
messing around. That ain't cool.
type
So you've
shit.
done it. Yeah, that's right. I think we've all done it. So yeah, so you do believe that they could be portals and stuff. Is that why? So that makes me think like on a. I guess we'll get to the negative in a second. But when you talk about doing mirror work and stuff, and you look into the mirror at yourself, and you're like, "I'm this, I'm that." Do you think that's why people believe it works, or maybe they don't even know that that's why it would work?
I feel like maybe some people don't even know because I do know that when you look in the mirror and you talk to yourself in an empowering way, you might not even realize like you're almost casting a spell on yourself because when you're
Right.
looking in the mirror and you're enabling, you're like, I am this, I am that, I'm this and that. You are talking to the version of who you're saying that you are. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you're becoming that person in that moment. A lot of people don't realize it, but I'm sure you know as well. Like, for example, in the movies, when they're like, I can do this, look in the mirror, they're like, I
Yeah.
got this. And they're like, oh, okay, I'm good because
Yeah.
they've casted that positive spell on themselves. So yeah, definitely.
I
It's
before I even knew about mirror work when I was really young, I used to just do it to feel good. I used to just like I'm gonna go in the mirror and tell myself like all this good stuff so I could feel good. And then I learned
that's
about mirror work later. I was like, oh cool, I didn't even know this was like a thing. So
right.
I guess that's cool. But the negative aspects, what could go on with mirrors? Do you think? What kind of negative stuff can happen?
Okay, I have one example. It's actually from the possession that I've told you about a few times on on this podcast as well. I remember when that was happening, the person who was undergoing like the whole possession being haunted like very deeply, they told me they were like I see because the one thing that they always say, like people say not to do, is never put a mirror in front of your bed because when you're
Oh,
sleeping, spirits like to mess with you. So you might wake up, look in the mirror, and then you're going to see spirit in the mirror. You might not even see it in front of you. You might just see it
wow.
in the mirror. And that's, that's 10 times spookier than actually
Hell
physically
yeah.
seeing it right next to you. So I remember when this happened, the person called me and they were like, I see a black thing because they had the mirror right in front of them. I see a black thing in the mirror, like a tall, big, larky black thing just standing there and it's in the mirror. And I was just like, oh my fucking gosh, like this is, this is not it. But, I like, even for myself, I remember I was laying down in a bed and the mirror was in front of the bed. And I remember from the corner, you can see that it was a huge black thing like in the corner. You couldn't really see it unless you were really looking, and it had huge horns. And I remember I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yikes.
And I remember it started walking like that way and it disappeared in the mirror. But in actuality, when it starts to walk that way, it didn't just disappear. It's walking that way in the actual world. You know what I'm trying to
Oh
say?
my
Like you were able
God.
to physically see it in the mirror, but it's still spiritually there. So it's still there, but like you're not seeing it anymore. So that, and then the other thing that I will say is I remember as well with like that whole possession thing with that same spirit. Um there was a reflection of a, I think I told you this a long time ago. I can't remember, but I remember that there was a painting, and when you put the glass on top of the painting, so like it's a reflection still,
Okay.
kind of like to take care of the painting, yeah, the frame.
Yeah.
So I remember that it was kind of okay, the door was here and then the painting was over here, and then reflected back that way was the dining room. So you're able to see the light. So you look at the painting and then you can see the reflection of the light in the background. I remember, oh my, this one was like the spookiest one, I think. I remember my friend called me when that whole thing was happening and they were like, look at this. And on FaceTime, they showed me the reflection of a spirit, like the same black figure standing tall. I'm getting goosebumps, like reflection standing in the living room, but you could see it in the reflection of the painting, of the glass.
God.
Like, I'm telling you, mirrors
Just
are
following him.
anything.
Following him. Oh my
There.
God. That's straight out of a horror movie, yo.
Like, actually, I couldn't
That's
believe my eyes.
wild. As I got
Yeah, it was.
older, that's why I thought like, when you're, I'm sure you know Bloody Mary. Everybody knows Bloody Mary. You go in the bathroom, say Bloody Mary, all different kind of rituals and stuff. I never did it as a kid. It's my favorite urban legend though. But as I got older, I was like, you know what? That's probably really, when you're younger, you're probably like, that's not like that can't happen. Like that's not. That's like a woman's gonna come through the mirror and like slice you up. Like that's bullshit. But then when I really started thinking about it, I'm like, that is probably a good way to summon anything. Like you're not gonna summon Bloody Mary, like the actual type of demon or whatever the story, but you're looking into a mirror with the intention. Essentially, your intention is to see something bad. You're not looking in the mirror being like, oh, I want to see Jesus or I want to see something cool, like good. You're looking in the mirror
Yeah,
like, Bloody Mary is a wicked thing. I want to see that. So you don't know what you're actually calling in. And I
that's right.
remember when I did think that, like, this is a backwards thought now. This is a backwards thought. I know I said I don't want to travel other dimensions and shit, but I did do Bloody Mary after I thought that because I was like, let me see if that's true. Like, let me see what's gonna happen now because now I don't think it's gonna. Now it's like not a kid's game to me. Like, I want to see what's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
I did it, and nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Okay.
Right? But I walk out, and my dog flies into the bathroom. Mind you, this dog did not care about me. She only cared about like my mom and my dad a little bit. But she
Yeah.
loved my mom. So when they weren't home, I would just feed her, take her out. She would be on the other end of the house all the time, okay? There is no reason she should have flew into that bathroom like that. She's never ever done that. Rest in peace to that dog, but she never did it before that, okay? So not only did she do that, she was sniffing around the bathroom, never did that before. Then I'm going on my computer and I could see her from the hallway because that bathroom was right by my door. She's laying, I I had a video, old video of her laying in the hallway, staring into that bathroom for mad long, and then she eventually just kind of laid down in front of the bathroom. Never did it before, never did it again. Only when I did that.
She
Only when
probably
I
was
did that.
protecting you guys from something.
Well, thanks a lot, Hennessy, because that was nice. I was like, wow, because that dog really did not care about me that much. She would not like come over and like see me like that. She didn't like
Yeah,
run away from me, but she never made an effort like to
yeah.
come to my room. So I was like, what is Hennessy doing in the bathroom? But she would always see stuff in the house, and that's what also made me kind of freak out because there would be times where my mom would call me and she'd be like, "Yo, Hennessy is tripping out right now. She's looking down the hallway barking, and she's like kind of like freaking out." Hennessy wouldn't bark at anything. She was barking at random shit, barking at the wall, barking at the fireplace. That's how I knew when I was like, that was kind of weird. And it wasn't like, oh, candles blew out and then a fucking face came in the mirror. Like, that was actually creepier because I'm like, I didn't see anything. I didn't
It's because it's
feel
so,
anything.
yeah.
So that
Oh
was
my,
spooky, dude. That was crazy.
yeah, your dog knew what's up. Like,
That was in
that's
my
really,
old crib. I'm not doing that in this one. That was one time. I just wanted to try it once and see.
I
That's it.
wonder what to do. I honestly also feel like when people do Bloody Mary like that, they're probably calling in spirits who are pretending to be Bloody
Yeah,
Mary. You know what I'm trying
exactly.
to
Something like that. But you know it's not going to be good because you're calling in. Your intention is, even if you're scared, you're saying, by saying Bloody Mary, you're like, I want to see something evil. I want to see something. You're just saying that 6 times.
exactly.
You're not saying Jesus' name in the mirror. You're saying, I want to see something bad, essentially. Did you ever, like, growing up, did you hear about or play any of the other games? Because there was the one where it was the elevator game. That was a common one. Then there was where like you pressed, you had to be like at a certain kind of elevator and you pressed all the buttons and then you press it a certain way and then you go into hell or something like that. I never tried that. Especially not in my building because my building's already a portal to something. So coming in my building, my building is probably where the elevator game leaves you. So if you do the elevator game, you'll end up in my building. just letting you know that right fucking now. But there was the one, I think it was, I forgot what kind of, hide and seek, right? Where you'd get the doll and you put like rice in it, you put like a couple other things, but you essentially make like kind of a voodoo doll and you put it in the bathtub. You turn the TV on to like a static channel, and then you'd hide in the house or something like you'd put the doll somewhere, I think, and then basically be like, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds, and then you'd go find it. Then you'd put the doll in the bathroom and you would hide, and then you would tell the doll, come find me. That shit, I never tried that. I ain't never tried that, but I could see it being the same thing as like the mirror where you're like essentially saying, okay, whatever spirit's around, come find me. You know, you ever heard of that game?
No, that's scary. I feel like that's like next
Dude,
level.
I'm
I feel
getting
like if
chills thinking about it. Like thinking about what I would like playing that would be crazy.
yeah, no, I feel like you would actually be inviting some demon, bro. Like some demon's gonna pick that thing up and move it over to spook you out, some shit, but
Yeah.
have a good vibe.
There was the midnight game where I don't remember how exactly it would go, but it basically, I think it was like you write down on a piece of paper like hi midnight man or some bullshit, slide it under the
Oh,
door, then you'd have to like walk around the house with a candle, be like midnight man come out, midnight man, hi midnight man, I want you to kill me, some shit like that, and then you like wait around till like 3 a.m. to see if you died. It was
I think I
wild.
heard that once when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I've also heard of the elevator game, but I've never played that. Like none of those. But which one did I played? That's actually funny. A little bit ago, I did play a game with these two kids that I was watching. I remember we played because they wanted to play like some spooky
That is the
internet like
beginning of a
childhood.
horror movie right now. Like, oh, I'm babysitting kids. Let's
Yeah,
go play a scary game. Like, all right, you're not
literally,
gonna die.
no, like dead ass because I remember um I I made a TikTok about this, I haven't uploaded it yet, but in the like what I was explaining is that basically it's called cat scratches. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
No.
It's about like this you read this tale out loud about some cat that died. And basically I can't remember exactly how it goes, but upon you reading the thing, you're supposed to, after you're done reading it and reciting it, you look at like your back or something like that, and you should have like scratches on you, like some sort of resemblance of being scratched. And I remember I was like, okay, nothing's gonna happen. Like whatever. So we did it. And I remember one of the girls was recording it because she's like, oh, I want to keep this, like, whatever. And when she was recording it, I remember like we lifted up the girl's back or the shirt on her back, and you can see that there was like dead ass like a small red mark on her back, and there was, and then
Oh
you have to
man.
read it back. Once you read it back, it says that like two or three more marks come up. When we did it again, there was another one on her back, and I remember at that point I got goosebumps because I was like, okay, this is real, like this is something
Dude,
actually happening right now, like what the fuck. And I was like, we shouldn't play this anymore. I remember I was like, okay, that's enough, guys, let's go watch TV. Because
that's
no,
crazy.
but yeah, it's real, bro. I'm telling you. There was other games I played as well when I was when I first got like really started getting interested in spirits around the age of 13. That's when I started to actually really realize that I was like astral projecting and having lucid dreaming and sleep paralysis. I remember I'm sure you've heard of this as well, like the ghost tracking apps.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember it was so like it was so 2013. It was I had like my iPod, and I remember it was such a like a ratchety ass kind of game, or like it wasn't a game, it was a ghost tracker. But I remember I wanted to see the spirit so bad because I felt at that point I was like I want to see what I think I know. And I remember I was like, come on, like if you're there, like come out, this, that. I used to have a
Oh, you're
candle,
calling
and
it out.
looking back, I'm probably like, what did I summon? But thankfully, nothing ever actually happened. So I am thankful
Wow.
for that. But I can't
Hell
imagine how
yeah.
many sleep paralyses I had where maybe the things that I summoned were trying to fuck with me
Right?
without me knowing.
Yeah.
Who knows,
Because
right? Like,
with any of the games, like you're not gonna call the thing you're actually calling. You don't know what it is. You don't know what it could
exactly,
be. Would you
exactly.
ever? Because I've seen this on YouTube before. Would you ever download? Would you ever buy a haunted doll on eBay or some of these websites and keep it and see if anything happens? Would you ever try that?
I actually have thought about that before. I remember I used to look up on eBay haunted dolls, and they were like really bad vibed haunted
Yeah,
dolls. Like you can
yeah.
feel that the vibes were really strong. I thought about it, but I also felt like I didn't want the responsibility that came with it. I was like, okay, if I do this, like I have to completely isolate it, and I can't, I can't live knowing that, not even live, but I can't be comfortable knowing that there's some demonic doll in my garage that might be flipping shit over right now, kind of thing. So
Right.
I've thought about it, but never done it.
Well, that's why you put it in your bedroom so you can always have an eye on it. What do you mean? You can't put it in the garage. You got to put it in your room.
You
You
got
gotta
that?
really immerse yourself in the experience. You can't put it in the garage.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know there's a girl, this girl that I follow, Kelsey Davis. I remember it's actually funny. The reason I found her was because the girls that I was actually playing that game with, the littlest one who had the scratches on her, I feel like she was intrigued by like the spiritual realm or whatever. But there was like, on YouTube Shorts, they
Yeah.
kind of show any video. And I remember she has like haunted dolls. Like she actually has them. And she was like, oh, let me click on her channel. And she clicked on the channel, and she has like, yeah, like dead ass haunted dolls that she keeps with her, and it's like
Mm-mm.
normal and it works. And I'm like, I mean, for her, I'm like, that's amazing that she can do it. But personally, for me, I feel like I
Mm-mm.
could, but I don't want to. That's more of what it is. Like, I just
No.
don't want to deal with it.
No. I remember I bought a Ouija board in the house just to have it as a prop or something. My mom was like, "Get the fuck out of here." She was like, "Get the." She didn't make me take it out, but she was like, "No." Like you she was not happy about it.
Yeah,
Not happy
a lot
about
of.
it.
Are you Hispanic by
Yeah, I was about
chance?
to say I'm Puerto Rican, so that's why you tell me that most of us were like, no, I'm not doing
Oh,
nothing where spirits are involved. Not
hello,
doing
get it
none of
out of
that
here.
shit. No, I'm actually I'm half white, so then my white side does come out when I'm like, yeah, let's go to this abandoned place and check it out. Let's check out. Let me do the Bloody Mary game. If I was full Puerto Rican, I would be like, no, I'm not doing none of that. But my white
So
side does come out where I'm like, yeah, let's do the mirror game.
that is actually hilarious because I'm half Italian. I'm half Ecuadorian, half
Oh yeah,
Italian, and
okay,
that's my side
that's
coming
right.
out being
Yeah, I'm half
like,
Italian too, so yeah, that's where it comes out. Like, yeah,
doesn't
let's
know.
do something
Kidding.
scary right now. I'll do that,
Yeah,
but I still won't go on a trail though. I'll leave nature alone. That's why I don't mess with nature at all. I don't do that. I'll do like a baby trail. I'm not doing where
yeah,
I gotta climb up fucking rocks, not like that. Cause people be going missing on those trails. You ever seen that? Where like
yeah.
one guy, there'll be like a group, and the guy behind them, they'll be like, "Hey Zach," and Zach is fucking gone.
God, kill me. Like,
Like, is it an alien? Like, is it like nobody knows what it is? But people go
uh,
missing like that all the time. I heard. I don't know if it's all the time, but I heard it happens a lot.
I heard it does happen as well. And then if they're like found, they'll be in like a distressed state or some shit like you don't want
Yeah.
anything to be a part of.
Yeah. That's
But
wild. So
yeah.
I stay with the
Wild.
danger I know about. That's
Right?
the ones I already know about.
Humanly made or danger.
Right, right. So you had told a story. I don't know if it was. It might have been your TikTok about this cursed school, right? Like a cursed high school. You want to tell us that story?
Yeah, I remember actually I think I told you about this the last time we spoke. It was in El
No,
Paso.
not
I
that
don't.
one. The one about the prom,
Yeah, wait, I'm trying to think.
the prom
Oh, the
car.
prom
Yeah,
one. I was talking about El Paso, the haunted school over
yeah,
there.
that one we
Bro,
talked about.
yeah. Oh my God. That was the high school that I went to. And it's actually I live like right by it type shit. So I can still just go there and see the car. But what happened was a few years ago, these kids got into like these students there got into a car accident and they died, totaled the car. And I don't know why they thought it was a great idea to bring the car. I guess it was to spook us, but they brought the car back to the campus and they put it up for display. And every year, I remember when my prom year came around, senior year, they were like, all right, we're going to go, like, we're going to tell you about the dangers of drinking and driving. So they brought us to the car and they were like, this is what happens when you drink and drive. And I was like, Jesus, like, I remember at the time knowing, I was like, this is not good energy right here. Like, these poor souls type shit. But what happened from that is that I remember when I was at that school, people were talking about how ever since they put that car on the campus, one student a year dies. Like one student will randomly die. It can be whoever. And it's actually really crazy because it will be like that. Like there's kids who got into car accidents who died. Just one student, like I said in the video, there was a person who died, a woman. It wasn't a woman, it was a student. I can't remember who it was, but it was someone from the school who was found dead in the woods. And the only reason that they were found was because a football player from the school was jogging in the woods. And there
Oh,
was like a whole bunch of other stories like that where people would just fucking die. And I'm like, Jesus,
in high
thinking
school,
about stuff.
and
Yeah,
we
in high
shouldn't be
school
dropping like flies.
type shit. Like
Wow,
population decrease. It's
that's
just crazy.
wild. Yeah,
Yeah,
we were
it's
we were
really
talking earlier in the show about like people putting the evil on you, but that's how I think that's like how curses work. Like that was I don't know how that curse works per se, but people will dead ass put something on you. Like I've been to like again I'm Spanish, so I used to go to botanicas and stuff. I knew friends that owned them, which is like a spiritual shop where you can get candles, you can get this, and you will have people dead go in there and be like, listen. I need to fuck with this person. Like they did this. Like this is or like this is my boyfriend. I found out he's cheating. I want you to do this. And they're like, okay, here's what you do. You get this, you bury it, you do that, and it's gonna fuck with him. I've
like
seen it, bro. I've seen it. But the thing about it is, the common thought is that it comes back to you, though. You
yeah,
know?
like karma.
Yeah, like
That's
it
how
will come back.
I feel like it's actually funny you say that because I'm thinking back as well to like the spiritual shops I've been to. I remember always seeing like everything will be like angels, incense, whatever, and then there'll be one section that'll be like voodoo, black
Mm-hmm.
magic, use this
Mm-hmm.
candle to hex your enemies. I'm like, geez, like but
Yeah.
what you were saying about like the karma thing, basically, I feel like I definitely do believe in karma personally. I know that karma is a choice to believe in. Like some people can deadass just assume that nothing will happen to them and then nothing does. But personally, for me, like I'm a very conscious, aware person. So I feel like if I'm gonna do something, I have to be right about it. Like I can't do some fucked up thing and then be like, go about my jolly day. I have
Yeah.
to know that what I'm doing is reflected. So
Exactly.
that's how I stay good. You know what I'm trying to say? But I
Yeah.
definitely believe that even if like let's say for example someone does something to someone that you know, if that person intends that the person who did something to them gets their karma, they will because they're
Right.
intending. So I mean,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
fucked.
You'll see a lot of wild stuff in Botanicas. I've seen two sisters go at it. One of them pulled out a knife and almost stabbed the other one. We had to kick them out. It was a
But
wild time. Shout out to my friends that owned them, man. They were great. They were great. It was a lot of fun going there. So let's get to the ghost stories. We got about 5. I got some from Reddit and I got one from Art Bell. Rest in peace. Have you ever heard Art Bell before?
no,
Oh,
I haven't.
if you love ghost stories, then you go on YouTube, look up Art Bell Coast to Coast. Years and
Okay.
years and years of people calling in and telling ghost stories. So usually I'll pick one from there, and that one is pretty crazy. We'll hear that at the end. But the first one I got is about a movie that you and I both love, The Conjuring. And I've heard this before that some of these movies, like Exorcist and The Conjuring, that if you watch these things, that kind of energy may come out to you. So, and it's actually funny that I say that because I remember there was an article about Art Bell, and he was running his, I believe, his radio station from his house at the time. And he came out and he was like, listen, like, I got to shut the show down for a while because too much stuff is happening in my crib after, like, since I've started doing it here, because you guys were talking about ghosts all the time. He'd always, he'd always say in the show, like, if you're listening to the show, just know listening to this stuff can bring it over to you. And he was very serious about it. So let's listen to this ghost story. I thought this was cool.
Strange things have started happening in my house after my husband and I watched The Conjuring 2. Everything was fine until the end of the movie when Lorraine said the name Verlag. As soon as she said the name, our back door swung open and it sounded like someone came running into the house. When my husband went into the kitchen to check, there was no one there. For the last 3 days, we've heard knocking on our walls at night and the sound of someone walking up our stairs. I know it's because of that movie, and we're already talking about calling a priest over.
People say it happens.
It does. That spirit probably was trying to mock that demonic entity because all the entities that are in The Conjuring are real. So it's not like it's a fictional made up shit. It's like they're dead ass entities.
Crazy. That's true. Yeah. I never thought about that they're real. That's right. Yeah.
Say those names, like, be careful. It's not that you're summoning them again, because I do know that those spirits are technically gone, like they're taken care of, but the energy is still there. Like, it still exists. You know what I'm trying to say?
Have you ever, because I know, do you watch a lot of these movies, or is it like just once in a while?
I watched all of them. If they came on again, I would watch it again, but I remember all of them. Like, you know, and if a new one comes out, I'm watching it. You feel me? Like,
we were just talking about the Exorcist movie the other day that I sent you the trailer. How crazy does that look?
I'm excited. I want to watch it. I love movies like that. Dude, a lot.
The possession, like when you get to the end of the trailer and you see the girls like totally possessed and their hearts are in sync. I think they did a great job on the makeup and how it looks from the trailer, at least.
Yeah. Like it looks nice. Very authentic.
It looked pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie. Like that was a little unsettling, the end of it. I was like, yo, this is nice.
Yeah, nice. I like that shit too. As long as it's real to me, I like it, you know?
So you never had anything freaky happen while watching this stuff, though?
I will say, I'm trying to think back. No, actually, I didn't, because I remember that when I was watching these movies, it was after that whole possession thing happened, and I was watching it for educational purposes.
Okay.
I remember that the first movie I ever watched from The Conjuring, which was the first one, it was about 6 months before the first like possession ever happened. And I remember when the possession happened, I like used the knowledge that I learned from Ed and Lorraine from that first movie, and I applied it in real life. And then after that, because I am a psychic medium, I was able to communicate with Lorraine, and she helped me so much throughout that entire thing. Like, she really honestly saved my ass in a lot of ways. It was, yeah,
maybe it was lined up that you had to watch the movie before because you like it was gonna happen, so it had to, you know, your timeline lined up with that.
I agree with that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Divine. Yep.
So let's get to the next story.
I have a 10-year-old daughter who's been seeing a man in her closet for a few years now. My 10-year-old stepson has seen him as well, and so has my husband. Recently, she started not wanting to sleep in her room, and it turns out that she felt like she was touched one night, and he's starting to show up when she sleeps over at her grandparents'. She says she doesn't feel like he's trying to hurt her, but it still scares her. I'm wondering if it's possible this is just a ghost that's become attached, or do I need to worry about something darker?
I'll tell you right now, I didn't even realize that she said years till this I heard it back. It would not be happening for years. I'll tell you that right now. I have the crew in there. I have everybody blessing that closet, throwing shit in that closet. We be cracking eggs in that closet, whatever we got to do. It wouldn't be going on for years. They're like, maybe, you know, we'll see what happens. And he's like, oh, now it's touching her. Like, no.
2-day maximum right there. You're going to third, bitch. Like, I'm not dealing with that.
Hell no. Did you ever see like when kids have imaginary friends, they say that sometimes it's just them hanging out with ghosts?
I definitely believe that 1,000,000%. I believe that if a kid genuinely believes that they have like an imaginary friend, it probably is a spirit that is just you know, like is able to get along with this person. But I do believe that they are spirits as well. They can be, for sure.
I dated a girl who lived in the house Aaron Burr hid in after killing Alexander Hamilton. I always said ghosts were BS, but that place was haunted AF. Middle of the night, nobody else in the house but us. I'd hear footsteps, hear whispers, and see shadows moving room to room. Doors would open and close, shit would fall off shelves. One night, I was playing with her dog, rolling a tennis ball into the next room, and the dog was rolling it back. Bounce, bounce, nothing for a few seconds. Bounce, bounce, ball comes back. I did that for like 15 minutes before I realized the dog was behind me, asleep. Then the door slammed. I went straight home.
That is,
I would have left.
right. He did the right thing. He was out of there. That's wild. To have the dog behind you.
Oh hell nah! I would have lost my shit.
That is crazy. Although maybe by now, I mean, I don't know what year this was. I might have pulled out my phone and did it again to see if I could get it on camera, because that would be crazy.
Definitely.
Look, I'm telling you, the dog is right here.
Like, look at this. I'm
That
not
would
playing
be
with myself.
crazy.
Oh,
Hell yeah, dude.
for real though. Oh my god.
I had just gotten back from my first or second deployment and went camping with my wife and 2 other couples. We hiked to our, not quite backwoods, but pretty far off the map spot on the shore of a lake, with pretty heavy dark woods behind us. It was a fun way to unwind, fish, and drink a little bit. The first night, I slept like the dead. Nothing happened. The second night, I had a real fidgety light sleep and woke up almost hourly. I went outside alone to look at the stars because I didn't want to wake up the wife. And after about 20 minutes, I heard what could only be described as my wife's voice, but oddly distorted, clear as a bell tone, calling out my name and asking for help. I got so unnerved that I stuck my head into the tent to make sure she didn't somehow wander off, and she was fast asleep. I shined my brightest light into the woods toward the voice, but saw nothing. I got kind of freaked out and went to lay back down. Then the next morning over coffee, my best friend, who was in the tent next to me, said, "Jim, why were you calling my goddamn name from the woods at 3:30 this morning? Dude, that shit is not funny." I told him I was in my tent at that time, and we just kind of dropped the subject. It was just very odd to me that it happened to 2 of us in the same night, and I really couldn't blame PTSD dreams or anything like that. The only person I told about it was my wife, and I'm not sure she entirely...
Number one, you went to the fucking woods. I would not be there.
Nope.
You're not into that stuff either? You don't like to camp?
I've never went camping actually, but I feel like I'm open-minded to it. I would try it out, but I'm not like a let me not shower or whatever. Like I gotta be on my shit. You feel me? So
I'm a glamper. I'll glamp. I'll be in the RV. There better be AC in there. We need heat, whatever we need. But that's like something I've been seeing over like the last year of like stories where there's like doppelgangers and people mimicking or hearing their voice mimicked or their loved one's voice mimicked. This is something I've been recently seeing, and it's crazy. I don't know if they call it like a skinwalker or something like that, because I don't know too much about them, but it's wicked.
I'm telling you, spirits, that's happened so many times in my life. Like that experience, spirits will call out someone's name and like the person's not there, or it's not that person, or you'll hear someone, or I will hear someone who is calling for me and no one's there, but it'll be a voice of someone I know. It's a spirit. Those are all spirits trying to mess with you. It's insane. It's
even crazy when they see it. Like last year on the Halloween special, we had it where the mom was seeing one of the sons in the house, but he wasn't there. He wouldn't be there, but he would be like out for the day or something like that, and she would see her son walking around. It's like, how does that happen? That's insane.
That's spirit too, man. That's crazy. Spirits are like, I feel like some people underestimate how much they can actually do, you know?
Yeah.
Very manipulative. Some of them, of course.
Sure. All right, now let's get to the final one. As I was saying, Art Bell, I think this was insane.
The following is from Bill in Rockford, Illinois. There's a house here in north central Illinois known to the locals simply as the Penfield Place. The house's eerie legacy began back around the turn of the century when a kitchen fire took the lives of 2 small children and a servant. Next, an undertaker took up residence, whose wife fell headlong down the main staircase there, breaking her back and her neck, killing her instantly. The funeral director's body was discovered a few months later in his own backyard, swaying from the branches of a maple tree where he had hanged himself in despair. Then the real tragedy commenced. A newlywed couple by the name of Penfield bought the place, moved in, and one night, not long after, the young bride, Mara Penfield, went missing. The jealous husband was always suspected in her disappearance, but nothing ever came of it, not until a decade later in the 1940s, when 17-year-old Mara Penfield was finally found again. Her sad remains were unearthed by some workmen in the backyard of her former home, buried beneath that infamous maple. She'd been stabbed, rolled up inside an oriental carpet, appendages dismembered and removed to only God and the killer knows where. Her missing limbs were never found. After that, the house went really bad. Future tenants would experience a frightening presence there, one which loomed over them as they slept and circled the bed, sometimes even touching their extremities inquisitively. A soft voice could be heard whispering, "Am I dead? Am I dead?" And once an abomination was witnessed by a group of New Year's Eve revelers, a hideous shape crawling across the second-floor stair landing in the darkness as if searching blind for something. When somebody let out a scream, the form raised up suddenly and glided away, nightmarish and black with no face to speak of. The large dwelling eventually fell victim to neglect and was converted into a tenement room and boarding. But I can distinctly remember once in the 1970s when a young expectant mother living there broke out in a high fever one night and miscarried inside that same shuttered house, giving birth afterward to a stillborn boy at a nearby hospital. A stillborn baby boy, extremely misshapen and underdeveloped, no legs, no arms. The rambling old Penfield place still stands today, decaying and in ruins, a monument to all our very worst fears as human beings.
That's a lot. That's
Dude,
a lot to digest.
What the hell?
So
Yeah.
three families moved in at first, and they all died. Right, like the first family the maid and the kids. There was a house fire. Then the couple dies because the woman died and the guy hanged himself. Then the woman gets killed and she's found in the backyard. And then everybody gets haunted after that moves in. It's like a movie.
God, that is so scary. And did they say where that is located? What did he say?
Let me see if he says it in the beginning.
The following is from Bill in Rockford, Illinois.
There you go. Rockford, Illinois. The Penfield place. We gotta look that up. We gotta go over there. You wanna go?
Yeah, I'll go. Damn.
There's our white side coming out. Hey, you wanna go to the Penfield place?
Shit. Oh my God, those poor people.
Dude, as soon as I heard that one, because I'll listen to that show every once in a while, I was like, I got a clip for the show. I got a clip.
That is like next level for real.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on that. And they're all free on YouTube, so if you're ever bored, just check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Spirits are crazy. I don't want to say all spirits, but negative spirits are definitely, some of them are batshit.
Yeah. I remember we were talking about dreams, and I'm pretty sure I said this on the show, but I don't think we've ever discussed it. But I've rarely had spiritual encounters, really. Like when I was a kid, I've heard I had them, where like I've heard that when I was a kid, I saw my grandfather and I was like describing him, but these are things I don't remember. But the one thing I will never forget was that I was already in this apartment and I had a dream about one of my favorite uncles. I haven't seen him in years. And I had a dream we were like having we were like a family gathering, which we rarely did, but we were just hanging up. He was like, "Hey Tom, what's up?" And I woke up and I was like, "Oh, I had a dream about my Uncle Huey. Wow, that's cool." Like I forgot if it was a couple hours later, had to be. My mom was like, "Uncle Huey died." I was like, "What?" And I was like, "That's crazy. I just had a dream about him." So I'm not thinking anything of it, right? I'm like, that's a wild coincidence, which I don't believe in coincidence that much. But I was like, this is one. I had a dream about him, which I never have, and he dies. My dad comes back from the funeral, and he told my aunt that I had a dream about him before he died, or it was around the time he died. And she was like, 3 other people told me that. Some number like that, like 3 or 4 other people told him that. I was like, yo.
Let people know real quick.
I've never had an experience like that before. It spooked me out, but I was really grateful because I was like, I never got to see him, and I always wish I got to hang out with him more. So if that was him saying goodbye, I feel very honored that he thought
Yeah,
of me,
definitely. It
that he
had to
thought
have
of me
been.
like
That's amazing.
that. Yeah.
Love that, honestly.
So let's get into these candies. I'm sure you're excited. I can't wait because I haven't had a good Kit Kat in a while. We got 2. We were supposed to have 3, but we'll have to try the other one at a later date. We got birthday cake Kit Kat, which I am not looking forward to. I bought it because I thought it was going to be gross.
Oh, I'm excited, man.
When
Like,
you said that you were excited for it, I was like, what?
Nah, you can't.
So you like
can't go
birthday
wrong.
cake flavor?
Yeah, I just love it all. Honestly.
Any flavor, you're fine with it.
Fuck it, yeah.
Nah, I was never a big birthday cake flavor guy, so we'll try this one first.
All right, let me open it. Let's see what we got here.
Just get this out of the way.
Okay, shorty.
It smells good.
Yeah, definitely. Always. You ever had like birthday, what's it called? Birthday cake ice cream?
I think maybe, but I don't recall.
I got you. That is good. Here, let's see.
All right, right now, I'm eating my words a little bit. It's not that bad.
It's so good. Oh my god.
It's
I'll
not
eat this
that
whole
bad.
thing.
I know we got the king size ones too, so you good. I would say it's alright. It's not the best. I would definitely never buy this again. I could not finish this bar. No way. Not even half of it. It's very sweet. And that's a lot saying for me.
It is very sweet. It just tastes like white chocolate.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised because it has sprinkles in it.
Does it? Oh, yeah. That right there. Okay. It's not bad. I thought it would be like, "Ugh."
Nah, I'm gonna eat this shit up.
I'll give it like a 2 out of 5.
What about a 10?
Like a 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 too. It's a solid 2 no matter what.
Okay, I got you.
What about you?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna high scale this one. 10. Okay, out of 10, I would say it's like an 8 or a 9. It's
Wow.
not bad. I like it. Yeah,
Wow.
I like it.
Maybe I'll give it a 2.5. I'll nudge it up a little bit. I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5. I'm a 5 scale. My scale ain't that high. My brain can't go that far. It's not bad. I'm a little impressed. And now the one I was definitely looking forward to is the churro Kit Kats. This I've been having my eye on for a hot minute. I was like, this is Halloween in July is the perfect time. You're still eating the other one. You go ahead.
Where'd you get this from?
I got it on eBay, and I'm sure is this limited edition? Yeah, this one's limited edition. It's funny you say that. It's so funny you say that because I felt like an idiot the last week. What was the first one? The first one was oh god, I can't remember the first one, but I recently bought something on eBay for a stupid price, like because I usually can't find this stuff here. Oh, it was the new Coca-Cola, League of Legends Coca-Cola, whatever it's called, and I bought it on eBay for like $15 because I never see that stuff here. Okay, and the gas station down the street, the Stewart's, they have a lot of stuff, but they never have the new stuff. So I didn't even think about it. It didn't even cross my mind. I buy the $14 Coke. The other day, I go to Stewart's, and what do they have right there? The fucking League of Legends Coca-Cola for $2.
Say that.
I went up to the lady, and I was like, listen, you got to hear this. You want to hear something dumb? I told her the story. She went. She was like, didn't even care. She was like, oh, like, why are you even telling me this? I was like, I need somebody to know.
You need someone to care, bro. Like, oh my god.
She was like,
I felt it.
she literally, that's what she did. She was like, I don't know.
Why your shit
Like nobody told you to do that, you idiot. So then the other day, I buy the birthday cake Kit Kat, and I'm like, I never seen this, so I'm just gonna buy it on eBay. I went to the dollar store the other day. It was there. I could have bought it for $1.
Are you serious?
Felt like an idiot.
Here, I'm gonna give you a tip. before you buy shit online with that, search up if they're selling it in stores first. Like, just be like,
dude, literally
store-
everybody has said that, and I'm like, everybody's like, why don't you do that? I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know.
Like
It doesn't because a lot of times I buy stuff from other countries, so it's just natural for me to buy stuff online. Like, even if it's domestic, it's just like habit now. You know?
Yeah, I feel you. All right, you ready for the true?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Excited.
Mine is melted.
Mine too. Oh my god. It tastes like brown. This tastes delicious. It tastes like brown sugar.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't immediately hit you, but the aftertaste is pretty strong. It comes in a little bit after, like the initial bite is not that strong, but then it comes in with the brown sugar, like you said. At least for me.
Yeah, I taste it too. It's like cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's so good.
This one I'll agree with you on.
Yeah, hell yeah.
This one I'll agree with you on. I might have to give that a 4.5 out of 5 right there.
Okay.
That might
Like
have
that?
to be. I don't know where it stands. We've tried so many Kit Kats. I don't know. It's probably up there. It's probably up there with in terms of the Kit Kats we've tried. I have to look back on the. I think we did it. We did put up a Kit Kat compilation of all the Kit Kats we've tried so far. So I gotta look back. There's been some nasty ones, but yeah,
Really?
This one's good.
Yeah, this tastes delicious. Like, I really like it.
I wish I didn't take it out of the fridge an hour before this. I thought it would be fine, but it's just melting.
It's melted? Oh my god.
What do you give it?
I'm gonna say a 9 out of 10.
Wow. So pretty much almost what I said.
Yeah,
On my short scale.
On your short scale, you're 0.5 above me
Right.
with that. Mhm.
Wow. So that means, so you definitely think this is better than a birthday cake?
I think it is better than birthday cake. I feel like this is something that I would be like, if I was in the mood for it, I'd be like, I'm gonna get that at the dollar store or some shit.
I could finish this. I could finish this bar because some things are good, but they're too sweet to finish. You know what I mean? Like the birthday cake, it's like I cannot finish that bar. I'll send you mine. I'm gonna put it in the mail tomorrow. You can have it.
Eat it.
I
like,
do not want it. You can have it.
You meant that.
Yeah, we had the cookies and cream one, but that one it might not come to actual Halloween. So I don't know when that one's coming in. But that one I was also like, that one could be good. No, it wasn't cookies and cream. It was chocolate chip ice cream. That's why I got it, because like it's not cookies and cream. It's a whole. I wonder if it will taste like cookies and cream, and if they just like named it that to be cool. Like, what is chocolate chip ice cream gonna taste like besides cookies and cream? You know, like it seems like it would be the same flavor.
That's true.
So
yeah,
I was like, I want to know what it tastes like. So I'll have to hook you up when I get that in. I'll send you that one over.
Shit, thank you in advance, because you already know it's a wrap for me.
Right. Well, this was a lot of fun.
Yes,
I'll celebrate Halloween every day. You already know me. I'm always watching something scary. I'm always listening to something scary. So I always need an excuse to put on the Halloween jersey, my favorite article of clothing I've ever had, and just celebrate Halloween. So thanks for coming on.
Of course, thank you. Like, you feel me? I'm gonna keep.
You were the
eating this
first person I thought of. I was like, Halloween in July, Electra. It has to be. I was like, it has to be.
Like, every day is Halloween in the best way. You feel me?
Right.
I just
Because Justin likes the candy. Justin likes the candy, but when the ghost stories are on, he's yawning. He's like, "Oh, that ain't true. That can't be." So shout out to Justin. We love you. But you were like, you fit the skit. You know, you fit the whole show. So I was like,
yeah, I love this stuff. Open-minded stuff. I'm down for it. I don't care what it is, as long as it's like cool. Like, you feel me? I don't care.
And you're excited for the Nun 2. We were talking about that a little bit over text, right? That looks nice.
Yeah, when we watch those movies, we can discuss it, everything.
For sure. For sure. You still got to see The Pope's Exorcist. That was good. I keep talking about that on the show.
I remember you showed me that. I do have to watch that. I need to catch up.
I think you'd like that. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't steer you wrong. I'd be like, nah, it's a red. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay,
that
if
was
you
good.
say so.
It's not the best possession movie. It's not a Conjuring, but it's like it's cute. It's cute. It's nothing you haven't seen before, for sure. It's a cute movie, and as cute as a possession movie could be. What I don't like, though, and I think I already said this during my review, but this was on the 6-hour special. So it was like hour 6 and nobody was probably listening. And the only thing I don't like is at the end, it was like a fucking Avengers movie. Like everybody's flying around, crawling up the wall. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe that happens, but it kind of takes me out of the movie. You know what I mean? Like shit is, the floor's glowing. I'm like, all right, this is not Iron Man. Like now you fucking
Like,
got me out of the movie now.
yeah, not like now it feels a little unrealistic.
Yeah, I like when the name starts like getting carved into people's chest and their stomach, and then you take the shirt. I'm like, oh, that's cool, and like their voice changes. But once people start floating around, I'll give you a push. You could push somebody. Once you start fucking levitating, I'm done. I'm out of it.
Shit.
But I guess they got to make it entertaining for everybody. Some people are into that.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
So yeah, we'll definitely be back to talk about those movies. October is going to be great. There's a lot of good stuff coming in October.
This year, clutch.
That's right. You're still enjoying the Kit Kats. Do you have anything you want to say before we get out of here? You're saying what you're saying is the Kit Kats are amazing. That's what you're saying.
I didn't. Yeah, right. I didn't want to. Anyway. Thank you for having me. It's always been an honor. It's always an honor. Love being on here. Capricorn Gang, you already know.
That's right.
Thank you, everyone, right?
For
you already know, but thank you to everyone watching. Intending y'all had the best time watching with us, having fun, talking about this paranormal stuff, everything. But we'll be back. You already know.
Now, which Capricorn? When's your birthday again? You're December Capricorn, right?
You're January, correct?
Yeah, January 6th.
Yeah, I'm December 26th.
Okay. Now we have it on record, so now we won't forget. Everybody flood Electra's inbox on December 26th.
Thanks, everyone. Flood your stuff too on January 6th.
That's right.
Yep.
Send her a bunch of Kit Kats. Send her the birthday Kit Kats. You're the only one I know that's gonna like that.
Like everything.
So thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. Thank you, Electra, for coming on. Hope you enjoyed. And Halloween is like literally 2 months away, which I thought. We're doing Halloween in July and August, and Halloween is 2 months away. So you're gonna get Halloween real soon, like the real Halloween. It already started for me. It already started.
That's good. What is it called? The jack-o'-lanterns behind you.
That's right. So peace and love. See you next time.